Hi everyone, and welcome to Your Best Self. I'm Dr. Stephen Davidowitz, also known as Dr. D. We've got a great show packed with fun, healthy ideas and tips for living your very best life. Our first guest is living her very best life as a series regular on the HBO Emmy Award nominated A Black Lady sketch show, executive produced by Issa Rae. Skye-Townsend was born and raised in LA. Her career path began to pivot when she landed the opportunity to co-host the official Grammy live red carpet at the age of 20, where her real improv skills were mastered and it prepared her for the latest credit to her name, A Black Lady sketch show. Welcome, Skye.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Skye, we're so excited to have you on. How much are you loving to be a part of this show?
You know, it's so much fun. I grew up loving sketch comedy. I grew up obsessed with Carol Burnett and In Living Color and SNL. And so to get to come on and just play a new character every day, it's a thrill. You know, one day I have an accent from this place, the next place, the next day. And so we get to really stretch as artists, and I couldn't be happier.
And this show is quite unique in terms of representation and inclusivity. What is that experience like for you?
I think it's exciting because, I grew up in comedy, of course, but I didn't see a lot of Black women doing sketch. And, a lot of the people that I looked up to, it was Mike Myers, Jim Carrey, Fred Armisen, and I wanted to do what they did. And so I think it's awesome. I hope that a lot of other girls who aspire to do this see the show and know that it's possible. And just enjoy seeing that we can have range as well. I get to play, I think, 22 characters this season. And so you really get to see, we switch it up.
I love that. Tell us a little more about the show and what it's like having to think on your feet and deliver all this comedic genius.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun because we get creative control over the characters. So we decide what they're wearing, we decide how they walk, how they sound, what type of earrings we want, what kind of haircuts, even down to hair color, or the ends of the tips might be orange. So it's really exciting because we have to create all of these people from the ground up. And so I think a lot of people don't know that. They think we just come in and they tell us what to wear, but we are deciding what these people look like. And so I think it's just so many layers creatively that keep us on our toes. So it keeps us on our toes.
Could you share a funny story while on set? I'm sure that with all that improv, there must be one story that sticks out if you could share it with us.
Oh, man. Okay, we were working on a character and we were in an auditorium and I had improvised a line. And, on set, you're not supposed to break or laugh. You're supposed to stay calm. And I'd improvised a line and about 4 seconds passed and the entire room of like 200 people started laughing at the same time. And it was just the most powerful thing because I'm like, humor is such a weapon. Like humor is survival. Humor is so universal. And so for everybody to break in that one moment, it was the most electrifying moment ever.
Thank you for bringing humor and comedy to us. It is super special. Yeah. But even more than that, I understand you spend time giving back to your community, whether it's supporting disadvantaged youth or helping the homeless. And it's so wonderful. Are there any organizations that you want to call out for our viewers?
For me, I kind of like to focus on what's going on in my backyard. There are a lot of people doing amazing work, but I encourage people to just really get familiar with, the homeless in their area. Like for me, it starts right at home. And so if I'm taking a walk or it's a hot day, I really encourage people to just ask simple questions, right? We get so overwhelmed with like, let me organize a drive with 500 people. But what about the person who's on the corner as you're walking by right now? Did you ask them, do you want something to drink? Do we give them, the right to have an opinion? Is there anything specific you'd like? It's like, we always like to make assumptions that by just buying a water for somebody, you're doing something nice. And so with me, I just encourage people to ask those questions and remember that people are human, because there's a lot of work to do in our own backyard. So I try to hold myself accountable with that, as if I bump into anybody, hey, let me ask the questions and remember, that they're human and make sure that they feel that way as well.
That's beautiful. You know that health and wellness, it's a big part of my life. What do you do to keep balanced and healthy?
Health and wellness, man. I love hiking. That is like my go-to. I love hiking. Also, just making sure my water intake is high. When you're dehydrated, you're exhausted, and I think also mental health is being able to take breaks when I need them or say no when I have to. A lot of people, especially in this industry, ask for favors, or they always need you when you might not have energy. And so I think a big part of self-care is saying no sometimes.
Thank you so much for joining us, Skye.
Yes. Thank you so much. I had a blast.
We'll be right back.